Now I have everything I need. And strength. Yes. Okay, so it is time for some real talk, and the reason why I have created this blog. So in December of 2016, my husband and I bought our first home, and this home came with 2 units. So it's kind of like an attached mother-in-law suite, which you'll get to see some video of and pictures of and stuff. But for the initial first video of our Praying for a Rainbow series here on the vlog, and then I might just talk a little bit about the details first and give you a little bit of a background story so that way you know what to expect. So we bought our first home December of 2016, and like I said, it came with 2 units, like an attached mother-in-law suite. So we fixed it up, and we had a couple of friends who were planning on moving into town, so we have been renting out the front unit to them while we're living in the back attached mother-in-law suite. Now, 442 square feet does not sound like very much, but it actually is quite spacious in here, which you'll see in the videos. And the front unit, we actually had to do a ton of work too. I mean, like, tear out practically everything. It was pretty intense. But at the end of it all, that side turned out really good, and we're still working on finishing up our unit over here. And so that's what you're going to see a lot of, is a lot of fixing up this house and some of the DIY projects that we're doing. Right now we're working on a sofa, so I'm currently sitting on the floor. I wish I could move the camera, but I can't. But I'm literally sitting on the floor in my living room. And so yeah, we're working on that. It's an old 70s sofa, but it's got that modern edgy look to it, which I absolutely love, and it was the perfect size for this little living room. The other thing that you're going to be seeing some of is our music. Ryan and I, when we met back in 2005, we started writing music together, and we started playing, you know, little acoustic gigs and stuff around town. We had a full band. We were signed to an independent label out of Nashville, and we've just been playing music our whole little lives together, and so that's a big part of who we are. And I want to share that with you. It's just some fun little stuff, you know. You might see some videos of some writing sessions going on, or some band practice or whatever. Hopefully some real live performances. That would be cool. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so the biggest reason, the number one reason why I created this channel and this series is because of our miscarriage story. And but I'm going to start at the pregnancy, because it was a joyful time. I'm just, you know, I really did enjoy being pregnant, although the fear of just something going wrong was always in the back of my mind. But other than that, I had a great pregnancy, great little run there. Ryan and I found out that we were pregnant in November of 2017. In fact, it was 2 days after Thanksgiving. And so I knew that I was pregnant before then, but I wasn't able to get a positive test result, and so, which was fine, because I kind of wanted to wait until Christmas anyway, so we waited until Christmas to tell our families. Insert cool, funny reactions here.
Another gift is on the way. Baby Hutchinson.
You're pregnant?
Oh, wow!
Really? I'm gonna pass out. Mama. Silly face. All right, everyone, look at our sign that says we're pregnant.
And so you can tell by their reactions how surprised they were, because we hadn't told anyone that we were going to be trying for a baby. In fact, the last they had heard is that we really didn't want any babies, no kids. So to be honest with you, I think that I think a lot of this has come from God just, you know, changing my heart. I mean, I, for a while, just didn't want kids. I was really being a mom. I was afraid of being a mom. And so he really did soften my heart towards the desire to have children. So hopefully, well, you know, if it is his will, you know, we will have babies of our own. Anyway, so a few days after Christmas, I was able to go in for an ultrasound, and we saw our little peanut, and 170 beats per minute was the heart rate, and everything looked good. I looked good. Everything just looked good. A few weeks later, so I was 8 weeks when I had the ultrasound, just so you know. A few weeks later, I had my first doctor's appointment, and so I went in there and met my doctor. He took me back for an ultrasound, and I could tell he was taking a while, and so I kind of knew something wasn't right. And when I looked at the computer screen, I realized that the baby didn't look any different than what it looked like a few weeks ago. So I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what yet. And then he said, yeah, it doesn't look good. And I just remember thinking, really? How? In what way? I mean, what's going on? Long story short, the baby didn't have a heartbeat anymore. In fact, he believes that the baby stopped growing and the heart stopped shortly after that first ultrasound visit, probably within a day. Here come the tears. I feel so thankful and blessed to have been able to hear my baby's heartbeat, my own baby's heartbeat in my body. So the doctor had given me some options that day, because what I was experiencing is called a missed miscarriage. And so sometimes it can take your body a little while to realize that the baby's no longer alive. And so it sometimes takes a while to do its thing. He gave me 3 options. I could wait a week and come back and see what happens in the time between, see if my body recognizes and goes to miscarry. I could take the pills to jumpstart it, or I could get a DNC and just be done with it. And I was not about to do surgery. I'm terrified of surgery. I've never been put under before, and I really don't plan on ever having to do that, hopefully. And so he recommended that I wait a week, see what my body does, come back in and see where we're at, and then make, you know, the next call from there. I was happy that he recommended that, because that's what I really wanted. And I just remember how long that week felt of not really knowing what to expect, not being able to find really many details. I mean, they'll always say, oh, it's just like a bad period, you know, it'll be like the worst period of your life, but you'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it can be so much more than that. And you know, I'm not going to share all the TMI details on here, but I will say that if you're going through the same thing, feel free to contact me personally. You can email me, and I promise you I'll get back to you and share with you those kinds of details. I'm just not going to do it on video, because I have friends and family who are going to be watching these things, and I don't know, it's kind of, I don't really want them to know those kind of details. So, but I really don't mind sharing the experience with you, and I really do want to help, you know, some of you who may be going through the same thing. So don't hesitate to contact me, seriously. Anyway, so I just remember my prayer being, Lord, if I'm going to miscarry naturally, let it happen this weekend, please, because I don't want it to happen at work. I was really stuck at work all week because my husband had to drive to Orlando, and so I didn't have the car. And I was terrified that it was going to happen and he wouldn't be home. So that Saturday I started showing signs of the miscarriage starting. And I don't know, I spent the whole day just really calm. Like, I knew it was coming. I knew that it was going to happen that day. So anyway, the hours leading up to the actual miscarriage itself I was good. I was calm. Every now and then I'd start crying just because I knew it was coming, and it just kind of made me sad. And I was also scared because even though I found a few videos on what to expect, no one can really prepare you for what is about to happen. We met up with a couple of friends of ours, and we went to like this big bonfire and stuff, and I started having really bad cramps, and I was like, wow, these are not like your average cramps. Like, they are legit some serious stuff, man. I just remember squeezing Ryan's hand like so hard and looking at him like, I think we need to go. And at that time it was about 7:30, and so I looked at him and he's like, are you ready? And I'm like, how do you even respond to that question? Are you ready? Are you kidding me? Ready to go? Yeah. Ready to have a miscarriage? No, I'm not. But here we go. We stopped at his parents' house to pick up a heating pad, and just, kind of hugged everybody, and came back home. I got my bed all set up. I had snacks and everything, like, next to the bed, some ginger ale to sip on through it all, and about 9:15, somewhere in between there is when I finally miscarried, and I thought that it was over. Like, I thought that was the worst of it, was over, and unfortunately it wasn't. I was having contractions the entire night, and I ended up finally kind of falling asleep a little bit around 1 a.m. and got up at 2, and I was extremely lightheaded to the point where I was about to pass out. My ears were ringing. It was starting to look all, like starry looking and black. I had to holler for Ryan because he was asleep, and he helped me get dressed, laying on the floor, helped me get dressed, and we took off to the ER. So they hooked me up to an IV, gave me some fluids, took some blood so that they could see what my HCG levels were at, and to find out if I was Rh negative or positive, which, come to find out, I am Rh negative, so I had to have the RhoGAM shot. My HCG levels at the ER were 11, and the doctor seemed pretty astonished. Like, he was like, so your levels are at 11, which is pretty, he's like, that's really low, so I'm assuming that everything is passed. And I mean, I kind of felt a little bit relieved, but I knew I'd be going in on Monday and getting an ultrasound to see if that was the case, if everything was out. Anyway, so Monday I had taken off from work because I knew I would be going in to get that ultrasound done, and I really just wanted to spend the day. I just wanted to spend the day in sort of like recovery mode, and spend that day with Ryan, just kind of be together, go and do something. And anyway, so at the ultrasound, my doctor said that he didn't see any tissue left in there, so I didn't have to have a DNC. And when I told him what my HCG levels were at, he said that he was pretty confident that everything was out, and that I'd only have bleeding for a few more days and I should be done. And that was it. Getting back to normal is extremely stressful. It's hard. It's, you don't really know like what to expect and when to expect things, and it's hard to keep track of it all. You really have to like document everything on a calendar, and so I've just felt so trapped and stuck to a calendar now that I'm like, I'm just ready to like not even look at another, thing like this. Like, so that is why we created this channel this series, Praying for a Rainbow, because after all of this storm that we have been through, these stormy waters, that we would love to have a rainbow baby. And so what you're going to see here is the real deal. I mean, this is us. This is fixing up the house. This is our music life, and this is our trying to conceive story. And we're going to try in a couple of months. And so we hope that you guys will join us in praying for our very own rainbow.